everyone. Today, talking with Chris Matishik about the trials and tribulations of buying a phone. Chris, we've talked about this many times. It was, we followed your wife's process of finally settling on a new phone, and this time it was your turn. I hope it was a good experience.
You know, Karen, I was going to do a summation of 2020 instead. I was going to say, let's talk about what 2020 has meant for everybody. And of course, for the majority of people, it's been utterly dreadful. So perhaps I'm just a dreadful human being, but I'm one of those who, if I'm going to buy a gadget, I want to physically see it first. I know it's naive. I know that I'll get loads of criticism for this, but it's just the way I am. If you're going to spend $1,000 or more, you want to kind of see what you're buying as opposed to having it arrive in a box on your doorstep and then you have to put it together yourself. So perhaps in a fit of lockdown naivete, I went to an Apple store. I've made an appointment at an Apple store because you have to make an appointment.
Yes.
Currently, as we're speaking, many Apple stores are closed, but at the time I did this 10 days ago, Apple stores were still open near where I live in Lockdown Central, where the governor still goes out to dinner, but no one else does. I made an appointment, and on the given day I turned up, I had my temperature checked, I had my mask on, and then I was ushered into an Apple store to stand and wait. What was weird at first was that you might think, well, they're restricting the number of people who can go into stores. And it was only 20% capacity, but it still sounded like the 5 minutes before Selena Gomez comes on stage. There was that noise going on, and it was almost, oh, I've almost missed this noise, but not quite. You know, a lot of hubbub. And so I stand there, and then what do they call them? Specialist, I suspect, comes over. They used to be called salespeople, but that's too déclassé. So, a specialist came over and said, "Hi, are you?" I said, "Yes, I am. What a name, huh?" And then she ushered me over to a table. Now, you've been to Apple stores before, Karen. They have big, long tables.
Yes.
Normally, when you go into an Apple store, you're sort of in a corner of a table. There are 17 other people around the table looking at phones, talking to Apple store employees. In this case, we had the whole big long table to ourselves because of social distancing. So suddenly you're in this extraordinary, odd one-to-one experience where you have all the new iPhones 12 and the whole table to yourself. And so the specialist took her time to talk me through every single phone. And here's what's weird. You could actually pick them up. You could actually hold them in your hand. Now, again, call me a reprobate, naive, strange human being, but I sort of want to know how the phone feels in my hand before I spend lots of money on it. So I could test out the iPhone mini. That 12 mini thing is really small now. There, a revelation. It's really far too small for my hand. So we chatted and she showed me this and she showed me that. She explained the difference between an iPhone 12 Pro and an iPhone 12, which was one camera. Well, okay, I feel like phones take decent pictures already, but I don't think I need a third camera. Do you need a third camera, Karen?
Yeah, I think I've got one camera on my phone, Chris, and it takes, to me, perfectly good pictures.
There you go. Some people are just more easily pleased, and I am more easily pleased, relatively speaking. So we looked around, I went through all the phones, I listened to all her information, which was all very calmly put, and all this space, you sort of almost relax. And then, so I finally chose, it's obvious because I'm naive, superficial, and gullible, I chose the blue one. Because it's blue. Because it's blue, Karen. That's why I chose it. Because I've always had black, and it's blue. This is Apple being exciting. So I chose the blue one. And then she said, "Oh, okay, I'll get one sent out immediately." They actually had them in store. That doesn't always happen. And then she said, "I'll set it up for you." And I thought, okay, normally what happens when they say they're going to set the phone up, they start setting the phone up. Then they put you in a corner and you sit there watching your phone do all the setups and updates and what have you. But social distancing. So in this case, she turns to me and she says, "Look, normally I'd put you in the corner over there, But now we only have 2 spots and there are already 2 people sitting there. So we're going to have to stay here. Now, setting up your phone can take 15, 20, 25 minutes. So what happened was the exciting part. I and the specialist chatted about life. We just stood there talking about her dreams, the things she wanted to do in the future, what she studied at college, the fact that her best friend was Portuguese, and the fact that I love Portugal. And it was this peculiar, odd moment of humanity where you don't get to chat to strangers as much with lockdowns these days. And understandably, because people don't generally, even in the days when outdoor dining was legal here in California, the servers didn't want to chat so much because they were feeling wary. In this case, we had a whole big Apple Store table to talk about life. And that, if anything, is the symbolism for the end of 2020. I hope that next year we can find people to talk to, strangers to talk to about life.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Chris. And this sounds really refreshing to me. And you walked out of the store with your phone fully loaded, ready to go.
Absolutely. And it felt oddly like more personalized service than you usually get because and she admitted to me that normally we're told to get people through as quickly as possible because clearly they want to serve as many people as possible and make Apple as much money as possible because Apple is often short of money. And so this was this peculiar microcosm of not 2020. And so I just appreciated it just for that.
Well, I hope it's a good sign of what's to come for 2021. Can we look at it that way?
Can we try? We can try. We can try, except that, of course, technology is spying on people working at home more and more. We get sensors everywhere looking at us, cameras looking at us. I have some concerns, but I hope we can at least travel. I hope we can at least see strange things that we haven't seen before. And I hope we can just generally get out of our houses a little bit more and feel a touch more optimistic than perhaps we felt for some time.
I agree with you, Chris, and a good place to end it here. I cheers to you, to a new year, to a more positive, happy, healthy 2021 for all of us. We appreciate you all watching here today.